Hi, this is Emmanuel, and in this tutorial I'm going to be introducing a simple animation, how you can basically create a simple animation within Adobe Animate 2021. Before we start, there are some of the key concepts I want you to understand, and those key concepts, they are very important in that I'm going to be referring to them as I go along. Okay, so this is an introductory tutorial actually, and I believe this basically will be useful to those of you doing Unit 31 computer animation. So we'll be looking at what animation is all about, and the types, and of course the uses of animation. Okay, there's an important keyword, like I said, which I want you to be familiar with, and those keywords are movement, masking, morphing, and animation. To be honest with you, we're going to be focusing on three types of animation, which are peculiar to 2D animation actually, and those keywords are movement, masking, and morphing. Okay, now animation, what does it mean? Animation simply means the movement created by a series of pictures. Most of the times you have a static picture, and you just want to put some life into the static picture. You want to make the inanimate picture move. You want it to move, or you just want to animate it to put some life into it, so that it appears as a movie. That's what animation is all about. Now, like I said, in 2D animation, we have different kinds of methods, different procedure for creating animation. One of them is morphing. Morphing comes from the word morphosis. When you talk about metamorphosis, you're referring to rocks, how rocks change from one form to another. But morphing, as you can see here, has to do with how an object transforms from one form to another. For instance, as you can see this little boy, this image may be made to transform gradually and eventually become a cat. And those are the stages of the transformation. As you can see here, we have so many examples. Okay, another example I can talk about here is the Hulk movies. We're all familiar with the Hulk movies, where a young man, when he's angry, suddenly transforms to become a monster, or to become a muscular man, just like that. This is known as morphing. Okay. We're talking about going into the keyword masking. Masking normally is used when you want to partially expose the background of a layer of another object, overlaying another. So you just want to reveal, your aim basically is to be able to see through that object and reveal any portion of the background as desired. For instance, here, if we want to reveal any portion, if we use this Christmas tree here as our background, and maybe we overlay it with a circle, you may want to see through that circle to have a kind of a partial exposure of the background. Maybe you just want to see the Christmas tree at the back. Okay, you can do the masking. You can mask the Christmas tree, that background, by placing the circle using auto shape. You can put that on top of it and then mask it, so that you will have a partial exposure of the background here. So this is what we mean by masking. You can mask letters and words as well. As you can see here, some of these letters are have been used to mask their background, ocean waves, as you can see. So this is what we mean by masking. Okay, so we're going to be learning all these little things, but for a start, like I said, we will start with movement. And after creating a simple movement, we will go further and animate a moving car. A car moving over San Francisco City Gate, Golden Gate in San Francisco. So a car moving across that bridge. So we're going to do a simple animation there. Now, like I said, Adobe Animate 2021 is what we're going to be using, and if you do have that in your college, you can use it. Alternatively, you can subscribe as a student. I'm not pretty sure whether you'll be charged anything. You won't be surcharged anything at all. So let's animate this wheel. Now, before animating this wheel, there are a couple of things you need to know. The images need to be processed satisfactorily. For instance, if I want to animate this static image, as you can see, this image has got a white background, and I do not want that to appear. So what are we to do? You can use the image remover online to remove the background color. Alternatively, you can do the remover right here within Microsoft PowerPoint or Microsoft Word. Okay, so to remove the background, simply extend the handle like that, like that, like that, and like that. And as you can see, currently the edges here is also pink, so we probably may want to, we do not want the background there. I mean, we want to retain the edges, but the edges is pink, meaning it will be removed. So we need to click on mark areas to keep, and ensuring we highlight the rim of the wheel the way I'm doing it right now. As you can see, this is straightforward because we do not want that bit to be removed. Okay, so let's highlight. Oh no, okay, have no worries. Just highlight it like that, like that. Okay, now we do not want this to appear, so I will go on mark areas to remove, and I will highlight that bit there. Alright, so now if I click on keep changes, we have a fairly transparent, although not everything is transparent at this point, but at least all those edges, the white edges, will no longer be there. Okay, so we're going to copy this and simply go into Adobe Animate. You go on File, New. Oh, by the way, let me close this. Let me close this. So to load Adobe Animate, simply go on your search bar and type Adobe Animate 2021 and then click on the icon there. And this may take a little while to load. Okay, Adobe Animate 2021. By the way, this is a 2D animation software, so it's loading. Just wait. Right, it's loaded. So the next button we're going to click is the click Create New. And wait. Now, within this environment, you want to make sure you select ActionScript 3.0. Although if you open it, you see HTML5 canvas there. Basically, we use this to create simple animation for the web. You can create a banner using that HTML5 canvas. especially for advertisement purposes. So you can create a banner and then embed the banner on your web pages. Okay, but for now, all we just want to do is we'll be using ActionScript 3.0. Okay, so make sure you select that and click on the create button. Okay, let's wait for it. Now this environment, within this environment, we have the stage. The white square you're looking at there is known as the stage. We can configure this to make it look much better than it is now. If you look at my right pane here, we have the dimension of the stage. Okay, so let's make this 800 and let's make the height 300. Okay, so this is not bad as it is, but because we're going to be processing an image, let's just keep it 600, but we have to change it later. I'm just going to do this so that I'll have enough space when processing the image. Now let me introduce you briefly to the working environment. At the top you have the menu bar. Here you have the toolbar. The toolbar contains the selection tool, the free transform tool, we have the lasso tool there, we have the brush, we have the rubber or eraser, we have the auto shape, line tool, pen tool, text, paint bucket, and the dropper there, the bone tool used basically for creating motion when somebody is walking. When you have, normally when somebody walking, you're more likely going to have different poses as the individual walks along. We also have the zoom and so on. So we have the library here for archiving. Sorry, the library is at the top there for archiving your assets, your images, and the rest of them. And over here we have the timeline. The timeline contains frames. Frames are those rectangular blocks you can see there, and they help us in timing our animation basically. And there's another kind of frame called the keyframe. That's the rectangular block with a circle in it over there. For instance, if I bring in any image now, the circle inside the keyframe, the frame there will be black, and automatically it becomes a keyframe there. The layer allows us to arrange all our assets, the assets in the current project. And over here we have the recycle bin to delete. To add a new layer, we click on the plus sign over there. Okay, and so on. So we have so that's all I'm going to be talking about. We also have the frame per second. This is the number of frames, the motion per second. Okay, the number of frames covered during the animation per second. So I will animate the wheel. So I'll copy and paste the wheel here. Currently the wheel is too big, so we're gonna make this a little bit smaller. So make sure you click on it using the selection tool and then click on the free transform so we can resize it. Press down the shift key. Please always remember to press down the shift key when resizing in order not to damage your image, and then resize it appropriately, just like that. And we click the selection key again. So I'm going to move this up so you can see it. Now we want to animate this bicycle wheel to rotate. Now how do we do this? This is easy. But before I start, I just want to remind you, immediately I pasted the image, note that the circle inside the frame here becomes black. So this is now a keyframe. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we need to convert this bicycle wheel into a symbol. So you right click on it and click on convert to symbol from the drop down. Alternatively, you can press F8. Now you can give your object a name. Let's call it a wheel. Make sure you select the movie clip from the type there, and then your registration point must be center. You click inside it to put a dot there. and then let's click OK. Now we're ready to animate. Now there are different kinds of twinning. We have the classic twinning and we have the motion twinning, but we also have the shape twinning as well. So but for this illustration, simple demonstration, I'm going to be using the classic twinning for it. So the first thing we're going to do is I will insert a keyframe. To insert a keyframe, you right click, and from the drop down you click on insert keyframe. That one, insert keyframe. Please take note. Okay, and now that I've created another keyframe here, I want to animate this. I want to rotate this once, so that that action of rotation will be stored inside the keyframe. To rotate this, I can do this in two ways. I can click on the free transform, and at the edge here I can rotate it like that. Okay, alternatively I can use another method. Okay, let's store another simulation. I'm gonna go straight to frame number 40, and instead of right clicking and clicking on insert keyframe, now from the drop down I will use the shortcut, which is F6. And what I'm going to do basically is I'm going to go on modify, and where it says transform, I will go straight down and click on rotate 90 degrees clockwise. Okay, you see that? And then I'm going to go on frame 60, press F6, and let's rotate again. Modify, transform, clockwise. Please, if you don't want to use that, you can just use the handle to rotate. Okay, and then we're done. But now if I run this simple animation which I have created, the image is more likely going to be jacking. What do I mean by that? If I press Ctrl Enter now, you see the image is jacking. It's not, the rotation is not smooth as expected. So what I'm going to do to correct that anomaly is I will right click in between and then create the classic twinning. So you right click and click on create classic twin there. Instantly you see an arrow pointing towards that direction to the right there, and then you repeat the same procedure for others like that. Okay, now after that we can now test it. You see the movement is smooth, although the speed of the rotation is sluggish, it's weak. So let's make it move faster. To make this move faster, what we have to do is we're gonna go straight to the frame per second here and then change it. If you don't find the frame per second here, you can go on the modify and document. You find it there. Frame per second is also there. Okay, just in case it does not appear here. So let's change it to 80 frames per second to increase the speed of the wheel. So if I press Ctrl Enter now, let's see what's gonna happen. You see it's moving very fast. It's moving very fast. So if I increase it further, let's say to 150, you see it's gonna move very fast. See, it's moving very fast. Okay, so that's all about a simple rotation. Now we're gonna apply this method to animate the wheel of the car we're going to be creating right now. Okay, but then before we start, there are a couple of things we need to do. We need to process we need to prepare our asset. For instance, you can go online and then get a suitable image like that, and we probably need to, because you can see this image is dirty, it needs to be cleaned. This number one. Number two, the background need to be removed. Number three, we need to dismantle it. We need to break it apart to remove the wheel, so that at least we can use the wheel. Or even if we do not want to use the wheel, we can use any other wheel of our choice. Okay, so this is how the image was when I copied. Actually, this is how it was when I copy it. So to process this image, what am I gonna do? I will first of all copy it, and because I want the car to move from left to right, so I will flip it first. Let's flip the image. Click on it and click on format, and where it says rotate, let's flip it like that so that it's pointing from left to right. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'll copy that image. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. I'll copy that image and go straight to what's it called, Adobe Animate. Let's undo actually I can load another one, but it will waste my time, so let me just get rid of everything here, undo everything I've done here. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is I will paste this right in here. Let me increase this to 600. Okay, so let's paste the car here. So this is the car currently. The car currently is messed up, is dirty. So the first thing I will do is I will right click on it. Usually you can zoom it so that at least you can see it clearly. Let's zoom it up like that, and then right click on it and click on break apart from the drop down. And the next thing we're going to do right now is we will pick let's remove the wheel first. To remove the wheel, the two wheels, click on the auto shape there and pick the oval tool or a circle, and it says fill. We do not need the fill. Let's make it transparent by clicking the white square now with a diagonal, and we can increase the stroke a little bit, and then we need to circle the wheel. Okay, circle the wheel like that, and then click on what's it called, click on the free transform and click on the wheel. Note that the wheel is highlighted, and then pull it out from there. Okay, so that is the wheel. Double click that. Okay, and we'll repeat the same procedure with the other wheel. We'll click on the oval tool and then highlight the wheel. Highlight the wheel like that, and click on free transform and pull this out. Please note the registration point, you must make sure you do not alter the registration point there. That white dot you're looking at there must be there if you really want to use that wheel. Although I might not use the wheel actually because it looks messed up somehow. Okay, so having done that, we need to clean the car. First of all, let's group this and then take it straight away to, let's group it, and then we can cut it, and I'm gonna paste it somewhere here just in case we want to use it. Just in case we want to use it, but somehow we can't even use it. Okay, we don't need this. We only need that one there, this one. So I will delete this off. I hope this is being grouped already. Okay, so let's move this aside. Okay, Now we're going to tidy this up, and to tidy this up, let me make this 180. It doesn't necessarily have to be 180. I just want to make it a little bit smaller so I can have enough space. So the next thing I'm going to do is I will pick this tool here called the lasso tool, right click on it and click on polygonal tool, and then you want to trim this. Trim it. You don't have to rush it, you can just do it gently. Pull it up to here, go like that. You have to be careful when doing this. Probably may have to redo this again. Oh no, let me redo it again. Click on selection and polygonal tool. Extend this like that. You keep on pressing the left key to to turn. To be careful with that. Now please do not join it here. We're gonna go back like that, go like that, because our aim basically is to remove the outer edge. Okay, so I'm gonna go like that and join it here, so you don't join it in the other side there. So we've removed that bit, but it doesn't look clean enough. So we still have to redo the rest. So go like that and go like that. We want to remove that bit, so circle whatever you want to remove. That's the idea. Okay, okay, let's remove that bit as well a little bit. Let's trim this a little bit. And press delete. Press the delete key and delete that. Okay, that's clean. I'm gonna move this a little bit like that. I think this is not bad as it is. So I will go back to 100%. So this is what we have at the moment. But please remember that this car was initially broken apart. So what I have to do is I have to regroup it, click on it, and go on modify, and then make sure you group it back like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to click on the wheel, click on the car, cut it. Let me name this as the car, and then I will insert a symbol. You're gonna call it complete car. You can call it anything. Make sure you make sure you select the movie clip there and click OK and paste it there. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is I will pick the wheel. Let's position the wheel there. Okay. Let's make the wheel a little bit bigger. You click on the press Shift key and make this. Okay, it's behind it, so just fine. We can move it to the front. Anyway, we're still gonna do that later as we progress anyway. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now, I'll copy the wheel, cut the wheel, insert another symbol, new symbol, and then I'll call that wheel. Sure, you select the movie clip there, and then I'll paste it here, and let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay, and to animate this, we select the wheel, and then we press F6 and rotate just like I taught you at the beginning. Press F6 to insert keyframe, and then store your animation in it. F6, and then rotate to store your animation in it. You can do that several times, it's up to you, but 2 times should be enough. Anyway, so that's fine. The next thing I'm going to do right now is I will go straight to my library there, and where it says complete car, I will go back there. Okay, go back to my complete car, and I will go back to the library and pick the wheel that I animated a few minutes ago, and the wheel is just right there. We're gonna make this a little bit smaller. You can make it bigger if you wish. I'll make it a little bit smaller. As a matter of fact, I think so. This is what I have at the moment. Okay, this is what I have, and you can move it if you want. If you want this to be sent back, you can do that as well. But I don't want to. Let me resize it a little bit. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, it looks like the wheel is a little bit too small. think I have to increase it a little bit. Let's press shift key and increase it a little bit. Now let's copy that and paste. Alternatively, you can drag and drop it from the library there. Okay, so I have to move this down a little bit so that at least it's free to rotate. Okay, so this is what we've been able to do here. Now we're going to animate this, so I'm going to go back to the main scene. The main scene, as you know, should be blank because we've cut everything in there. So this is the car I have. I will drag and drop it right there. Let's go to my library. By the way, we'll be using a bridge, so let me lock this. Okay, let me lock this and then add another layer. This layer, I will call it the bridge. Okay, now for the bridge, I will import. Before importation, let's reduce this a little bit to 300. Remember I said we have to reduce it because I increased the height before because I want to have sufficient space to for my processing. So now I have locked the car layer, the bridge. Now I will import the bridge. I think the bridge is inside, it's on my desktop. I just hope it's there because I'm not pretty sure. Let me go into it. Okay, let me go back. It's on my desktop. Assets, I believe. And the golden cable bridge. Let's import that. So this is the bridge here. That is the bridge. Let's position it appropriately like that. Okay. So this is the bridge, and we're going to duplicate the bridge a little bit. Maybe our stage, let's increase the height to 350 so that we can move this down and it fits appropriately. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now, I will duplicate the bridge, copy and paste, and I'll drag it the other one and then position it just like that. We need to make sure they are properly joined. You see, it's properly joined now. Press down the shift key and click on the other side and go on modify and then group the two. Okay, so that it's just only one bridge now. So this is what we have. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do is I will leave this open now, and then I'll go to the car layer. Note that I'm on the car layer at the moment, and then I'll go to the library and pick the complete car and position it there. So this is the car. Please note that the bridge is on top, because if you put the bridge below the car basically will be in front of the bridge. Okay, but we do not want that to happen. So that is why the bridge has to be on top, so that it will appear as if the car is actually passing through the bridge. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to start our animation. I will move the car a little bit backward. Move the car a little bit backward. Let's move it back a little bit. It is suspended somehow. Okay, so let's move the car a little bit backward here. Move it backward. Just like that. And we will right click on the car frame here and click create motion twin. Okay, so note that the bridge has disappeared. Now I will click on the bridge and insert motion twin as well. Create motion twin and then click OK. So now we will go to the car and then move the car. You can move the car by pressing shift right arrow. I press down the shift key and move the car across like that. Let me undo it. Oh. Please note that the pointer has to be at the other end. As you can see, the motion twinning is being created here now. You see those dot dot? Those dot dot shows that alternatively you can press shift arrow key. Oh, by the way, this is too slow. This is too slow. I ought to have pressed shift arrow key, but at least you understand what I'm trying to do here. I want the movement to be smooth. Okay, so at this juncture, actually what I ought to have done is, let me undo it. So at this juncture we have to animate the bridge. I will go straight to the bridge, click on my bridge, and then press shift and move this aside like that. Like that. Okay, so I will then extend this. Oh, sorry. Let's extend this to 90, 95, I believe. Okay, we can extend this to 90 actually. And the bridge, for the bridge to be available at all time, it also needs to be extended to 90. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is to test. So we want to test. So we need to test our animation. But before testing, let me change the frame rate because the car most likely is going to be moving too slow. If I press Ctrl Enter now, you see the car is moving. It's moving fine. This is working fine, working fine, working fine. This is not bad, as you can see. But we can make the car move faster than this. If you want it to move faster than this, like I said in the previous tutorial, you can change the frame rate. Change the frame rate. Now, as you can see, the frame rate is not showing here. If the frame rate is not showing here, simply go on Modify, Document, and you can change it to 60. And let's click OK and press Ctrl Enter. You see the car is moving smoothly, and I think this is pretty good. You see? So this is what I just want to learn. This is an introduction anyway. There are a lot of things we can do. Now, if you watch this on YouTube and the wheel, you don't see the wheel is rotating very nice on my laptop at the moment, but my camera, my recorder may not record it. If that happens to you, please let me know. But currently, the car is moving very fast and is moving well. Okay. Let me bring the frame rate back to 30 frames per second. So just move slowly. Yeah, that's not bad. The bridge is jacking. It's jacking because I think I ought to have used the arrow key there, but it's not bad. This is not bad. Okay. And so that is it. Thank you. If you have any question, please let me know. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. See ya.